We're back with Project Show Off SMT10, and this has been a pretty long video series, but we're going to wrap it up in this video today. We are going to install the last of the parts, and then of course I'm going to take this thing out for a drive. So let's dive right in, and the first thing up I'm going to install are these headers. These are Hetmanski Hobbies headers. They are 3D printed. They come from Shapeways. They look really cool. He offers these in a number of different styles, and today I'm just going to go ahead and bolt these up to the chassis. It's going to take a little bit of modification. I have to grind a couple of pieces here to fit with the battery tray and some of the hardware, but there's 2 screw holes on the side that I'm just going to bolt these in, and this is really going to add to the look of the truck. The other thing I'm going to do is install the ProLine ProLock body mounts that I picked up for it. These will bolt right here to the chassis, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then we're going to move on to the steering. After a little bit of Dremel work, I bolted the headers up in place. That was a pretty easy modification. And then I bolted up my ProLine ProLock body mounts here just to kind of fit them in on the chassis for now. I might have to adjust the height later on down the road, but that will be an easy fix as well. Next up, I have to move on to the steering. So I've got these incision links I'm going to install in the truck. I already put the rod ends on. These look really nice. And then I'm going to go ahead and install this high-tech servo. This is a HSB 3981TH servo, 472 inches of torque. So I think that's plenty enough to turn these big tires. And I also have an aluminum servo horn here. Just kind of found this in my collection. I think it might be from Hot Bodies. But anyway, that's going to go on the front to hold up to the force that this servo is going to put up with, the steering links and everything. This should be an easy bolt on as well, so I'll get that done next. I've got that monster torque high-tech servo in place, my steering links are in place, and everything went together fairly well. The only thing I had to do was take the steering links off a couple times to adjust them so I would have 0 toe in there, and also to make sure that my servo horn was perpendicular, but everything went smoothly. And then I just had a little issue with the servo horn. The servo horn that I had selected before that I showed you guys was a 24 tooth. The servo was actually a 22 or 25 tooth spline, so I had to go digging through my stuff and find a 25 tooth spline servo horn. Found one from ProTech RC, so I got that bolted up. Now I think we should bolt on the tires. Let's go see how this truck looks with wheels on it. So after messing around with the wheels for a little bit, I got them on the truck, but they're the wrong offset for this truck. These are cloud offset wheels, and I screwed up. So sometimes it's really hard when you're building a truck from scratch, and little mistakes are made, and that's one of them. So I'm actually gonna go over to horizonhobby.com right now and order up some Durtrax munition wheels and tires. So this video will conclude in just a few seconds. So after my wheel mix-up, I went and picked up a set of these Durtrax munition tires and wheels. They're pre-glued from the factory, and I heard pretty good things about them, so I'm excited to try them out. I'm gonna bolt these right up. Then I'm gonna move on to the Mamba X speed controller that I got from Holmes Hobbies. I'm just gonna solder this in, drop in my receiver, and show you guys what this truck looks like when it's all finished up. Well, it's done. It's finally done, and I can breathe a sigh of relief. It is so cool to have this truck finally finished up. After I put in the electronics, I soldered up the T-plug, put in my max amp battery pack, bound everything to my rugged radio system, turned it on, and that Holmes Hobbies power system in there sounds like a monster. It's gonna be really cool to drive. Finished up the body, put some decals on there. Shout out to my friend Mike Garrison for making the show-off decals for it. Very cool. This thing is just, it looks insane. It is better than I thought it was gonna be, you know, in my mind when I was picturing everything, and it's probably gonna look cool when we're out there running it. I was gonna go and build some ramps for this, some freestyle ramps. My friend Tony over at CCX RC gave me the plans for his ramps. Thank you for that, but I didn't have time to build them yet, and I'm just gonna go put some bike ramps out there, jump off of those, and you know, do some flips and stuff off of my shed or something like that. So let's head outside and have some fun. All right, guys, I got a few ramps set up in my backyard. I'm gonna take it easy on this truck because I need to learn how to drive it, but you'll get a feel for how it drives. All right, let's have some fun. All right, so I got a little cross jump set up here, and I've already started practicing with it. It's been a blast. Got a 2S pack in here right now, just to take it easy. The grass is kind of tall, so when I go through the corners, it wants to grab. But it has been a blast. Watch this. Yeah. Spin it around. Let's see if we can do a backflip. Oh no, just straight up and over jump. Nice. There we go. It's been an experience driving this thing, building it up. Whoa, all right, jump towards us. I can see why people have fun with monster trucks. It is a different driving experience. Kind of like the sound that this one makes. Whoa. Oh, I heard some gear skip on that one. Still good. All right, spin around, come towards us. I gotta set my speed controller. Oh, well, too much throttle there. Oh, we got some gear skipping already. Those are my HD gears in there too. Kind of leaning to one side a little bit. Well guys, I've got to be honest with you, this was kind of a letdown. I've been really looking forward to driving this truck. I have built it up over many months. You have followed me over many months just sticking with this project. It has taken forever to get done. I finally got it done. I took it out to drive, actually before I even started filming, and just to practice with it, and I broke it probably within 3 minutes. I stripped out the spur gear. The nut backed off, I think. Something happened where the spur gear mount loosened up basically and blew out the spur gear. Not a real big deal. I was kind of expecting it, seeing that it was the stock Vanquish plastic gear that came with the transmission kit, and I was expecting that. So what I did was I swapped it out with a Robinson Racing slipper clutch setup, which comes with the steel spur gear on there, which is a fantastic upgrade in my opinion. Probably should have put it on there from the start. But once I got that done, I went back out for a few more minutes, just a few more minutes, and noticed that the steering was going away, and that was because the rod ends on the incision links were just elongating. The plastic was stretching. So I brought it back to the workshop, changed out the rod ends for RPM ends, and after just another few minutes of driving, probably another, I would say less than 10 minutes of driving, just kind of getting some footage for you guys, the wheel came off, and it actually just tore up the hex on the inside, so that wheel is now trashed. And I noticed a few other things as well. The rod ends on the other incision links that I use on here are starting to elongate, so I'm gonna have to swap those out. Some of the hardware started to bend where the links mount to the chassis. I use K&K hardware because they're a reputable brand. So maybe just the leverage on it was a bit too much for the links, and actually one of the nuts fell off as well. So I on the links, so I lost a nut on the wheel, I lost a nut on the links. And I think you just have to Loctite every single thing on this truck. I think I learned that. But, you know, that's a lot of negative stuff. And yeah, it ruined my day almost, or basically it ruined my day. I had to stop and I got to go order some more wheels. But here's the good stuff. Here's the good things that I learned about it. The chassis, the Hetmansky Hobbies chassis. That thing is a tank through all the tumbles and stuff that I did do. It is a solid unit, no twist or bends there. It did handle fairly well. There is some torque twist to it. I was expecting that, just knowing the chassis, you know, driving an SMT10 beforehand, you know, driving plenty of Wraiths and stuff like that. But I did like, you know, how it landed off of some of the big jumps. I did really have a good time doing some backflips off of the backside of one of the jumps there, launching it from one jump to the other. It landed pretty well and stuff, but you know, I'm a mix of emotions right now, because on the one hand, there was some fun elements to it, but there was a lot of little things that went wrong with it. You know, there's a lot of really cool parts on this truck, just little things went wrong, and so that's the bummer part. I wish I could have shown you more, and you know, maybe I'll fix this thing, but I gotta tell you, after driving an LMT, this thing is a bit more of a handful, you know, a bit more sketchy when you're driving it. You feel a little bit more uptight about driving it than with the LMT, where that thing, I kind of just went wild with it. And my LMT is still on the original axles. I don't even have the revision axles on mine, and I'm more comfortable just thrashing on that much more than this. So this was a cool experience from, you know, the build and getting everything together, kind of just, you know, bringing your imagination to life with all the parts that are available out there for an SMT10. Would I steer you away from building one? Maybe something this elaborate I wouldn't go with, but definitely there's plenty of forums out there that you could also use as a resource. And if you like the SMT10 chassis, then go for it, obviously. But there's a lot of cool stuff on there. Thank you to everyone, all the manufacturers that contributed to it. Sorry I couldn't give you a much more exciting ending to this video series, but I do want to be honest with you guys and show you what happened to my build, so you know what to do and what not to do. Let me know what you think about the video series. Let me know what we would have changed on this truck. I'm excited to hear your thoughts. While you're down in the comment section, go up to the description, find some links there. You'll also find the links to the other videos for part numbers and stuff like that. And hit that subscribe button and the notifications bell. Throw the video a like, and we'll see you back soon for some more RC Driver videos.